Hey, Sunshine Do Buckaroos, how the heck are you? I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, the Cocktail Whisperer for this particular video. I do two I got off just a little early tonight, so I didn't have to start quite as late on a Tuesday as I typically do. So I thought I'd do two cocktails and maybe do a later night video, but we'll see how these two go first. But I had an idea. I want to channel more fall cocktails, right? I've been doing a lot of summer stuff. And although we're not all the way into fall weather yet, I had an idea for a couple I really wanted to try. And they're not necessarily, new, they're both more kind of a variation on a theme, as a musician would say. Get over here real quick. Make sure that's in the right spot. There we go. Everything's working the way it's supposed to. Okay, let me put that up there. And let me show you this cocktail. Well, so again, like I said, it's kind of a variation on a theme, right? Oh man, look at that. Let's take a look. I'm gonna set it down again and show you the ingredients in this. And I will tell you that it has more ingredients than my typical cocktail because I'm typically a three ingredient guy, but I really had an idea here I wanted to try. So I'm using the Hard Truth French oak harvest rye sweet mash, straight rye whiskey finish, and toasted French oak brings out more vanilla notes. This is a collaboration with Hard Truth and Mellencamp whiskey. This one is 104 proof. A Hard Truth Distilling Mellencamp whiskey collaboration, limited edition collector series. This stuff is really good. So I did about an ounce and a half of that with about a half ounce of creme de cacao. This is from Rocktown Distilling out of Little Rock, Arkansas. And about the same amount of the Luxardo cherry liqueur. But I didn't stop there. So they're right there. I've got a cherry cordial going on, right? But then I took it just a little bit farther and added the King and Dane coffee liqueur out of Ohio. This is the best coffee liqueur I've ever had. It is insanely good. Out of brewed bottled by Toledo Spirits, Toledo, Ohio. It's just insane. Anyways, and then and then there's more time. And then I use both cocoa and cherry bitters. And I haven't tasted this. I did take some pictures, but I haven't tasted it. I didn't even check the nose. So let's see what we got. Oh man. So I kind of got a coffee cherry cordial thing going on. Chocolate cherry coffee truffle. I'm not sure what to call it, but nevertheless. Oh gosh. Boy, I like that a lot. This whiskey, I love that Hard Truth whiskey, but I will tell you, those other ingredients I put in here, as far as the cherry liqueur goes, I like to buy small, but I don't know if anybody's doing one better than the Luxardo. But as far as the creme de cacao or cream de cocoa, as us poor people were brought up learning to say, 48 proof. This is better than any commercial brand you're going to find. I guarantee you, it is just crazy good. And again, that King Dane that I showed you earlier, I mean, they ain't playing out there in Ohio. All right, so now I'm just going to relax. It's going to be my first after work alcohol. I can relax, take it easy. Uh, Gosh, that really is nice. I kind of worried about adding as much as I did, right? Because the original idea was just going to do the cherry cordial. Then I had found the coffee liqueur. Oh, wait a minute. So I really wanted to combine those two, but or those three, the cherry, the chocolate, and the coffee. But I worried that one might take over the other, so I used equal parts of all three. But like I said, I hadn't tried this particular cocktail before, and I think the whiskey of choice worked perfect. That Harvest Rye is just insanely good. Again, it just brings out extra notes of vanilla there. Here, drive me crazy today. Oh man, that's really good. That's really good, man. Oh man, that perfect dessert cocktail. Should have had this one second probably, but I was dying to try it. The other one's kind of a variation on a theme too. I'll get to that a little later. Because I'm not going to rush through a cocktail this decadent. Yeah, this is brilliant, man. And some people wonder about using particular whiskeys or particular ingredients in a cocktail. My answer is always your cocktail is only as good as the ingredients you put in it. If you only want to use a whiskey up to a certain price point, I have no issue with that. But I want you just to keep that in mind that your cocktail is only as good as the ingredients you put in it. And I'll tell you, I'll tell on myself here a little bit because it took me longer than it should have to learn that. Uh, I like a Manhattan, but I'm not crazy about sweet vermouth. Or let me take that a little farther. I'm not crazy about cheap sweet vermouth, and that's the problem. It took me a little longer than it should have to learn that as I started spending more and more and more on that sweet vermouth, and I got to okay, now I get it. Yeah, I mean, you can't buy that lower rung and expect a good cocktail, no matter how good the whiskey is. That sweet vermouth has to be just as good. And here with this cocktail, adding as many ingredients as I've had, if I use cheap bottom shelf creme de cacao, it wouldn't be the cocktail I have in my hand. Or if you're using a cheap coffee liqueur, again, all of your ingredients need to be in line. Again, not to beleaguer the point, your cocktail's only going to be as good as the ingredients you put in. Just like your food, your food's only going to be as good as the ingredients you put in it. If you buy cheap 73, 27 ground beef, you're going to get a greasy mess from there. You buy a nice 90, 10 ground sirloin, you're going to have a nice meal. You buy a cheap USDA select steak, that's what you're going to get. You buy a nice prime ribeye, there you got yourself a meal. Yes, I do. I will agree that it does cost more. Pay more. Pay more for your cocktails, for your food. Pay more, and eat less. Drink less. Buy good products. Oh man, that is really delicious. I got to be honest though. I mean, I do have another brand of creme de cacao on my bar card. I'm not going to say what it was, but when I bought this a few weeks ago when my wife and I were on vacation, I did a side by side with it too, and it's not even close, man. It's not even close. This stuff from Rocktown is just insane. And my next cocktail uses another one of their cordial products, craft cordials. But this is the best. I guarantee this is the best creme de cacao you're going to find. This stuff is amazing. And I debated using a Rocktown whiskey here, but I wanted to use a rye. And I do have one Rocktown rye, but I don't have it opened yet. I didn't want to open a bottle. I'm kind of working through some open bottles as we speak. So Oh man, that truly is delicious. Gosh, that's a good cocktail. That is that perfect digestive. That is that perfect fireplace. That perfect dessert cocktail. And like I said, I was trying to channel fall, even though it's not necessarily fall weather yet here in the Ozarks. I wanted a deeper, more decadent cocktail. I've been doing a lot of lighter, more summer friendly cocktails, but I would really want to go in a different direction tonight. I took two ideas that I hadn't done before. So this is the first. The second one's coming up here shortly. Oh, God. Got a day off tomorrow, but Wednesday is also my workout day, so I can't sleep in on Wednesdays as much as I used to. But I don't drink as much on Wednesdays or Tuesday night as I used to because I work out the next day now. I'm trying to shape up a little bit, so I'll be in better shape when the goons the goon squad hauls me off to the gulag. When I get yanked out of my home and thrown in the concentration camps, I'll be a little be a little better shape. My wife was joking with me. She said, "You're gonna get in better shape so you could pick up women." I said, "Even if I was built like a brick shithouse, I'm still I'm still old and gassy. Nobody else wants me. I'm certainly not a cat." Anyways, I digress. But I got that workout scheduled in the morning. Then I ordered some meat from a butcher. I'll pick up after that. Then I'll probably just come back and relax the rest of the day. I socialize so much at work that anymore I really just want to stay home and decompress. But every once in a while, I feel like getting out. Oops, hit the wrong button. There we go. Anyways, I'm just about done with this one, so I'm gonna jump up. I'll be right back with that second cocktail. Don't go anywhere. Okay, still with me. I'm going to alternate my props here or change my props around for this one. So this one I used the new Riff 6 year 100% malted rye. It's at 100 proof. And then, as I showed you or talked about it, this is a ginger liqueur from Rocktown. So I use that whiskey, the ginger, and some of this Whistle Pig maple syrup. And then I use both ginger and black walnut bitter. So what I was going for here is kind of a maple ginger old fashioned, not just a straight maple, but I wanted to go maple ginger on this one. So here we go. That's the twist there. That ginger. And I will. Oh my God, that's delicious. I will tell you, I haven't had a lot of ginger liqueurs in my time, but I love this one. I love this one better than that big commercial name that everybody knows, and I'm not going to mention it. It's really good. I'm telling you, man. You ever get a chance to see the Rocktown Distillery in slightly there in Little Rock, Arkansas? I mean, the products are just crazy good. I mean, there's nothing there that I wouldn't recommend. I'm just mad at myself a little bit because I meant to buy the barrel aged maple syrup they had, and then I somehow forgot to grab it. But I had a little bit of this other one left, so I figured we might as well use it up. Good gravy, that's tasty. I do like that. I do like that ginger, though, man. I'm gonna kind of mix and match all of these ingredients. Maybe, maybe do a chocolate and ginger, cherry ginger. Hell, I don't know. We'll figure something out. Coffee. We'll play around with the ingredients. But I do like these two cocktails. Both are perfect fall fireplace cocktails. They also both work as a digestif. I would say the first one works better as a dessert cocktail per se, but I think this one would still fit that bill. Oh man, that's delicious. It really is delicious. The trainer I've been seeing the last, this will be the fourth week, is the husband of a regular where I work. And the dude is diabolical. I mean that in a good way. Is the trainers I've used in the past have been more tough lover. Oh, come on, you can do it. But he's more concerned about proper technique and safety. So he kind of kills you with kindness, make sure you're doing it right, and he gives you so much positive feedback that you keep trying harder because yeah, okay, I'm good now. And then the next day I wake up going, holy crap, what bus hit me? But I do feel better overall. Slowly, very slowly, probably slower than I should, but slowly we're changing our diet, uh, cutting back on the fat. But I'm not really taking anything off, right? We're just we kind of shrank the portions, if you will. But as much as I like beef, we've kind of gone to eating more chicken and fish. We both really like salmon, but we're also trying to eat some other things as well. I try to switch it up so it doesn't taste like the same thing, right? So a while back we had some cod portions, and I switched that up with another white fish to have some halibut. And I like to cook, so we're kind of trying to fix things different ways as well, so it doesn't feel like you're eating the same thing. But he's not one of these no carb trainers. So, no, you need those carbs, but you got to have that balance. So trying to eat more salmon, as I said earlier. Oh, I think I mentioned the ginger bitters, but I forgot to mention I used black walnut bitters in this one as well. So the first one I used the cherry and the chocolate. Here I use the black walnut and ginger. Forgot to mention the black walnut bitters because typically my maple old fashioned was the whiskey, the maple, the black walnut bitters. But adding the ginger, I also added the ginger bitters in it as well. Oh, gosh, that really is good, though. I got to tell you, that's a nice cocktail. My dad was a very simple drinker. I kind of wonder what he think about how I drink these days. He liked his basically bourbon and water, and he Of course, I'm talking way back when, so I mean, the variety of what's available now is quite different. But he only drank three products. Well, no, actually four, but mostly just three. Sometimes I forget about the fourth, but we'll bring it up here. But three products. It was always Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, and Wild Turkey. Those three products were always in the house. But every once in a while, he had Small Granddad, but I think he preferred those other three. Because he usually drank that if somebody else brought it. That's one of the few bourbons he would drink if somebody else brought it. I remember somebody bringing a bottle of Old Crow, and Dad wouldn't get near it. Dad wouldn't even touch the bottle. He did what he wanted. No part of Ten High and Kessler. This stuff was cut off. But keep it in mind, what we're drinking for some of these products now, they were different back then. And Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Wild Turkey, they were all thought of more than they are now, especially among current whiskey geeks. The really uppity, pretentious ones, you know what I'm talking about. But I think he'd be amazed at the products on the shelf now as compared to when we went to the store back in the 70s and 80s. There was three bourbons. Yeah, it was what I mentioned, what was available. But now there's, I mean, these big big stores like Total Wine and such that have so many products. I think you'd be amazed. When I was a kid, Dad had a lot of bartending stuff, so I know he knew how to make a lot of these cocktails and had made them in the past. But yeah, his taste was simple. He just liked the bourbon and water. And when I say that, what I mean by that is he would take that typical cylindrical glass or whatever we had, fill it with ice cubes, just pour the bourbon into the glass until there was just that much room left, and just pop that tap open. Just to get the glass full. So it's filled with bourbon this much. Of course, that ice is going to melt and you're going to get more. But yeah, that's how Dad drank it. And when I first started drinking, I would drink a little sweeter. I was drinking uh, bourbon and seven that my mom drank. But by my early 20s, I mean, by 22, I was drinking bourbon and just club soda because I like the bubbles, you know. But by 30s, I was pretty much mostly on the rocks. But if I'm not having a cocktail, I'm mostly a whiskey neat guy. Occasionally on the rocks, but I do like the whiskey neat. But every once in a while, man, just a particular cocktail will jump out at me, which is why I had this idea tonight to do these two in particular. So, anyways, I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. Launcher. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it.